Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Another beautiful day has come and gone as the sun is setting. It looks so much brighter. These cameras are amazing how bright it looks. It's actually not nearly that bright out right now because the sun's already gone down. But wonderful day. Oh, hear that? Yeah, that's what it's like living out here in the country. In fact, that's actually what I was doing just a couple of hours ago. So, no worry. It's that time of the year, you know. Hunting season is right around the corner, deer season. And so you hear that a lot right about now. People out, testing things. Gotta burn up some ammo every once in a while. Anyways, so over the last 24 hours or so, a little bit longer than that, 36 hours, give or take, relationships between the United States and China has seemingly kind of fallen apart. China has put more restrictions on its rare earth minerals that it has a massive control over. I've talked about this multiple times in the past, that China, they control somewhere in the neighborhood of 70 to 80% of all the world's mining capabilities when it comes to rare earth minerals. Specifically, they either own it or they control it. And that's not a good thing for technology. You know, the United States used to, back in the 80s and 90s, mined a lot of their own rare earth minerals. And they stopped doing that. They stopped buying it from China. And so now China controls the vast majority of the world's supply of it. And those certain elements that are considered rare earth minerals are what is needed to make all this technology. So again, I've said this so many times that so much of this, what you're seeing going on in the world today, the wars and the tariffs and the trade wars and on, all this kind of stuff, it all boils down to the technology. It's all about AI. It's all about technology. And so this is another one of those. It's about the technology, folks. And he who holds these control over these minerals are the ones that's going to be, controlling the technology, because you can't make all this advanced weaponry. You can't make AI and the phones and the drones and all of this stuff without a lot of these rare earth minerals, these rare earth magnets that are used in all of that. Virtually every modern advanced military equipment uses it. So yeah, that's a big deal. So anyways, they did that. They also slapped on a big hefty fee for any American ship docking at any of their ports. And then President Trump got, I guess, pretty upset about that and slapped on an additional 100% tariff on China. So now we're talking 130% tariff on China. So yeah, expect things when it comes to just money, economy, trade, stuff to get worse. And it's already gotten bad between the tariffs that are rising, jacking prices up, the trade wars that are affecting the prices of goods, that's hurting farmers. And then, as much as we may all like the fact that, lots of illegals are either leaving on their own or being kicked out, I mean, not quite the numbers that we really would like to see, but still enough that that's also affecting farming. Because, like it or not, a big bulk of farm workers are illegals. And so it's affecting farming. In fact, lots of farmers over the past few months has reported that they can't get anyone else to work. They can't get Americans to come out and do the work that these illegals have done. And so it's hurting it all across the board. And in fact, so much so that the Labor Department, Trump's Labor Department, put out some numbers and information that all of this, the tariffs and the crackdown on illegals, the trade war, it has affected food costs and labor, and it's going to affect it even more. And then after that is when Trump came out with this additional 100% tariff on Chinese goods. So, the stock market reacted a lot And a lot of money was lost in the stock market. A lot of money was lost in the cryptocurrency market because of all that yesterday. And it just shows how bad things are and how you need to be really getting yourselves prepared. Food costs are going up crazy. I think this morning, price of beef, now beef commodities are the highest they've ever been. So yeah, it's none of that is good, right? In other news, another war is possibly getting ready to start, or has already started, between Pakistan and Afghanistan. Pakistan struck some targets in Afghanistan, and now Afghanistan is retaliating and striking back. And a bunch of Afghani troops are now piling into the border with Pakistan. And guess what? They're using all that beautiful American equipment that Joe Biden left over there. What was it, $80 billion or something like that? So there's another possible war getting ready to happen. The peace deal with Hamas and Israel is kind of interesting. I mean, I guess so far it's still holding true. But they're having some big signing celebration in Egypt, and Israel is not going to be there. Apparently, that's a strange one. I think there's a whole lot more going on. You know, there was something I was reading yesterday or the day before that the president's hope is not to just bring peace and rebuild the Gaza Strip, but to bring peace to and rebuild the entire Middle East. And that's an interesting one. Yesterday, the Pentagon Secretary of Defense announced that they were building a facility on one of the Air Force bases in Idaho for Qatari Air Force pilots to come there and train. And a lot of people are pretty upset about that. Now, there's some things that are being said aren't quite true. They're not building an Air Force base. We're just allowing their pilots to come there and train, which is not uncommon, especially at that Air Force base. But it's usually only done by allies, U.S. allies. And Qatar is not a U.S. ally. In fact, Qatar is a known supporter and funder of terrorism. But it's interesting that this has happened after they gave the president a $400 million plane, and the Trump company family signed a $5.5 billion deal with Qatar to build a resort and golf course there. So there's some strange bedfellows that are being made. And just in the last 24 hours, a lot of really hardcore MAGA Trump supporters have kind of turned against him because of this. That, again, why is he supporting, not allies, It's why is he supporting, countries that support terrorism and stuff? Who knows? Jihadists and all that. So that's an interesting one. Not sure what to think. I think all of this, and I know this is a reoccurring theme on this. For those of you, I just want to say, I see it every once in a while in the comments. Oh, Travis, you've changed. Oh, you've flip-flopped. Oh, you said this one time and now this the next time. To prove that over the 8 years of me doing this, that I have not changed, I repeat the same thing often. I have been pretty much the exact same person and same thing all the time, even to the point that some of you want to comment and say, oh my goodness, it's the same kind of content. We have to see all of this that is happening as an obvious sign that the new world order is happening. A few years ago, even a year or two ago, many of us had this concept, this idea of what the new world order would be. It's this Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, George Soros kind of new world order, right? And so when Trump gets into office and starts doing things like, oh, well, that new world order is not going to happen. Well, guess what, folks? The new world order, the elites, the ones that rule it all, they're not Republican or Democrat. They're not left or right. They're globalists. And they put these people into power. They choose who's in power. And they do it so that you can, that the people, the common people, believe that they still have a voice. They believe that they're still in control of their government. And then it also pits them against their fellow man, which in a sense also creates the need for having government, because we got to get rid of those evil Democrats. Well, the Democrats, they got to get rid of them evil Republicans. And so all of this stuff that we're seeing happen, it is part of the New World Order, folks. Just because there's a different side of the coin, another different wing of the same bird that is in office, does not mean that the New World Order is not happening. It is, folks. It is happening. All of these peace deals, all of this trade and the trade wars, all of this basically allowing the US dollar to collapse in promotion of crypto and especially stable coins. All of that, all the technology. Palantir is just so involved in this government, especially this particular administration. The AI, all of that. The co-founder of Palantir said yesterday or something, that anyone that is opposed to AI are legionnaires of the Antichrist. That's an exact quote. Anyone that is opposed to artificial intelligence are legionnaires of the Antichrist. This is the guy that is building the AI systems to monitor your every move, to take all of your data and to compile it together and let the government see and figure out what AI thinks of you and that you're bad or good or toe in the line or not. And he's telling us that if you're opposed to artificial intelligence, then you're part of the Antichrist, right? Folks, you got to wake up. All of this stuff, yeah, I mean, it's happening. There's people being arrested. There was another shooting last night, another mass casualty shooting here in the United States. They're happening quite regularly now. That's why you need to get some training. That's why we're doing that kind of training here. We're doing it for others. If you live in the area and you want to get in on that training, give me a call. We do the trainings fairly often now. But anyways, the world is coming unraveled, but it's not chaotic. It's not out of control. In fact, it is under control. It's the bad guys are controlling it, but it's going exactly as planned, I would say. And you need to realize that. And you need to realize that you have to start taking responsibility of yourself. You have to be getting as self-sufficient and ending your dependency on the system as much as possible. That's really what preparedness, what homesteading, all of that, being patriotic, being, libertarian, constitutional, whatever it is. To me, what it boils down to is being able to be self-sufficient in the sense that you're taking care of yourself. You're not tied to the system, whether it's government or big commerce, big business, whatever it is, big AI. That's what we need to be doing. We need to be working towards that goal, because big government, big brother, all of it, it's getting pretty big right now. And it's really starting to take control. Folks, you need to be getting your houses in order and preparing yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.